Gaeta with the advantage coming out of turn number 2. Right at his door is K2. Down to the backstretch. Gaeta with the advantage coming out of turn number 4. Onto the outside. We have some smoke coming out of that. Top 5 pack, that number 4 car showing smoke as they go charging. We've got another lap complete. Gaeta right now still with the advantage. Pulls out a bumper's length over K2. K2 looks to the outside of Gaeta going into turn.
What really got me into racing was going to my first NASCAR race with my dad in 2017 and just hearing the roar of the engines and the amount of thrill the cars gave me. My name is Zeke Gaeta and I drive the number 58 street stock and I'm currently going into my 4th year. To be a race car driver, not only do you need to be physically fit, but you just need to be 100% mentally there and ready for anything to happen, because anything can happen at any moment and you just have to expect the unexpected.
You can see the extreme anger, making sure his door was firmly closed. Jake Dennis, wise.
I've always been a fan of racing ever since I was a little boy. I took a little bit of a break from it. I remember, but what really got me back into it was my brother-in-law and my sister, who took me to an IndyCar race in Mid-Ohio. And that's what kind of sparked it back up into me. And that was when I made the decision. I'm like, hey, I want to be one of those guys out there that, you know, going 180, 200 mile an hour in a car. And, you know, it just, ever since then, it's always been that motivation for me to get out there and be one of those guys. My name's Sean Dimmitt. I drive the number 9 206 go-kart on a Burrell AM29 chassis. The hardest part about being and becoming a race car driver is you have to have so much dedication and so much grit, because it is a sport that will chew you up and spit you out. It's a sport unlike any other, and the intensity and just the overall risk is so high in the whole sport, in all forms of it, and whether it be in a go-kart, in a stock car, in a truck, or a Formula car. They all have the same risk connected to them. Going into a sport with, you know, many other drivers with the same goal, and that same goal is to win, and only one driver can win. You're going out there with 20, sometimes 30, 40 other guys on the track, all fighting for that one position. And if you don't have that dedication in you to go through those ups and downs of winning and losing, then you're not going to go anywhere. That's why that dedication is so important, because you have to figure out, what can I do better, how can I do it, and when can I do it, and apply that on the track, and then that's what will get you up in the first place. The hardest part about being a racing driver is not only the actual act of racing, but just in general, preparation, garage time. You'll spend 99% of the time in the garage and the actual 1% on track. And you spend so much time preparing for it, and you just get so little in return. There's just so many ups and downs in racing. You can have the best day of your life the day before, and then it can all come down and crash in the next day. So when I'm on track, we usually go out with the base setup, and then we put in basic tire pressures, and then I'll go out, we'll see how the car feels,
If it's a hot day, the track's usually pretty slick, or on a colder day, the car might be a little tighter, won't want to turn. So usually we'll adjust the pressures to that. Then second practice comes around, and then if it's still not good, we might tweak the pressures a little bit, but then we'll start getting into some chassis adjustments, wedge, and springs.
In racing, there's so many little things that can go both right and wrong. And just a lot of things you have to pay attention to, such as, temperature and weather, who are you going against, who are you gridding up against on the track, who are you starting next to. You have to learn other people's driving styles, who to tag along with, who to stay away from if they're more aggressive. And strategy-wise is insanely important, and that's where a lot of people mess up because they don't take in the little things of racing. How you got to determine how much sun's on the track. You got to what's the temperature out. What are other people going out on tire pressure, and how are they feeling? Do they want it lower? Do they want it higher? And not even just weather, but what you're driving is also another thing that you can adjust. You got to go out on track. You got to come back with detailed analysis on what you want done to make you go faster. So being really close to Zeke and doing the same thing as him in motorsports, I really like to push each other or help push each other to do better in the sport, and a big part of that is on the simulator. We both do sim racing, and we do it together a lot of the times. And it's this really great way to not get better at driving, but to just know each other and be better friends by connecting what we love. And along with sim racing, it's just so important. It's tremendously important to driving because you learn so much. You learn reflexes, more racecraft, what to do in certain scenarios.
Sim racing does help out a lot for us, especially when we're away from the track so much. Well, it helps out with things like reflexes, most importantly, racecraft, just how we put races together, making sure we finish them the best way we can, and just it puts you in different situations, like different wrecks that you can try and avoid, and then also different tracks you can adapt to different tracks and cars.
I do notice a lot of it in real life from the simulator. I especially or mostly in just how fast I'm going and the more risks I'm willing to take going into a turn, just turning earlier, turning later, or being more on the throttle, because on the simulator I really don't have anything to lose, because if I wipe out I just press a button and restart, but in real life I wipe out and it's all bad things can happen.
So for me, race days are on Fridays, and for me, the weekend really starts on Wednesday. I'll start off by doing things just like light sim work, and then me and my dad will be doing things like making sure the car is ready, just simple tests to make sure that everything can go according to plan. And then Thursday rolls around, more sim work. I'll do a light gym session just so I'm not as tired the next day and can recover better. And that day we're really working on the car a lot, just taking it to the alignment rack, just making sure everything is good and square, and just simple things like that, getting fuel, getting our tires ready. And then I'll do a little bit more sim work before the night, and then I'll make sure I get a really good night's sleep because I know the next day is just going to be chaotic. And then Friday morning, I'll go pick up the food for the day, get our drinks and everything. And then we already have the car loaded up at that point in the trailer, and then we'll just head out from there.
motorsports is very important. Mainly just for endurance-wise. I remember my first time ever being in a go-kart. I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't squeeze my fingers together, my palms. I couldn't squeeze them because they were just so sore. My forearms were incredibly hurting. And my coach actually said, get one of these forearm grips. So I got one of those. I did tons of reps on those and it's helped. As far as the gym goes, Zeke and I love to work out with each other. We do it all the time. We mainly do resistance training, so that's just neck exercises, forearm exercise, or grip exercises, and core exercises. And we just do some occasional weightlifting here and there too, just to get ourselves in shape for when we get back in that car.
Another really important part is just staying locked in on your diet and just working out. You just need to be consistent with it, and because you just need to know that you put in that work during the off season just so you can be a lot better during the actual racing season. So we got this thing called DGR, Dimmick Guyetta Racing, thing me and Sean came up with at lunch. It's really just because we did it because racing is just not like a sport that everybody does. It's really, really cool that two kids from the same school who grew up together, we're always friends, just had the same passion and ended up doing the same sport, having the same love for the sport. And we're really doing it because we want to do it together, we want to make it together. And I think we can really get some good partners along the ride with us. Not only local companies, but maybe even bigger companies that can help support us along the way.
With Zeke and I being best friends and doing the same sport, we decided to basically combine forces and make our own team, Dimmick Guyetta Racing. And we've been building that up for the past year and a half maybe. What we've done, we've been just trying to support each other as much as we can, both on and off the track. We've been making social media posts, trying to get our name out there to potential sponsors maybe, to help us along the way. There's been talk about, going as far as making merchandise and apparel to just help fund our seasons or our careers. Moving into cars would be great for me and a lot of fun for me, and I would do that through the WRL. The WRL, also known as the World Racing League, is a pre-professional, low-budget form of endurance racing. They take place all over the United States, from Daytona to Charlotte to sometimes Indy, and that, if anything, would probably be my next step.
Every time we get in that car, we just know anything can happen, good or bad. We might climb out of that car a winner, or we can climb out of that car in absolute, just utter frustration. But definitely there's a large risk of wrecking or worse things. I mean, every time we strap ourselves into that car, it might be our last time. You never know.
Every driver gets in that driver's seat and they know the risk that they're taking, but they still don't back out, and that's where I see the most passion in drivers, is because they're doing something that they could theoretically die doing, but they just have so much dedication and so much adrenaline in them that they have to cure it. It's like an addiction, you just need more and more and more of it.
Real quick, just wanted to thank my sponsors, Automotive Solutions, Moose Motors, Jim's Garage, Towing and Recovery, Mama Ines Mexican Bakery. If I didn't say Moose Motors, I think I did. And I want to thank my boy Jaden from Hoax Graphics. He does a really great job wrapping the cars and making those sponsors pop.